We are back. Welcome to another Hot Jobs with us here at Higher Military. How are you this afternoon? Really well, I hope. It's me and Amber today, and we are really excited to be back sharing our greatest and newest direct hire positions, so permanent roles, Skillbridge internship opportunities, a bit of a chat that we wanted to have with you today. And also, we have a special guest that we will be introducing in a few minutes or so. But as we get going, please do take the opportunity to introduce yourself. Let us know if you are looking for a Skillbridge internship or if you are looking and you're on your job search journey right now. If you have any questions for us right now, is it with regard to the resume, interviewing, looking for the actual role, finding internships, you name it, we want to be able to help you. So definitely share with us the reason that you're here today and any support that we can offer at all. This is our favorite 30 minutes of the afternoon. We get to spend it with you, and it's really nice to be able to see everybody that joins us. Hey, Barrett, it's lovely to see you there in Austin. I bet it's a little bit warmer than where I am right now. So if we haven't met before, I am Lucy Robinson, Senior Director here at Higher Military, currently stationed along with my active duty Air Force spouse in a little known installation in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, called Eielson Air Force Base. So if you are familiar with Fairbanks and the interior, we are about 40 minutes south of there, where yesterday it was a balmy 50 degrees and today we are back down to 5. Amber, over to you. Take a moment to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name's Amber. I am one of the recruiters here at Higher Military. I'm an Air Force veteran, also married to another Air Force veteran, and we recently retired and are living here in El Paso, Texas.
It's really lovely to have you here today. You've been off for the last couple of weeks doing your thing, so I'm glad it's back to being me and you. Mike jumped in for a couple of weeks there in your stead. So what do we have to share with you today? The first thing that I wanted to make you all aware of, if you are not already, Mike, our CEO, works with the USA Transitions team. And on the 18th of April at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, he is delivering his next Mastering LinkedIn and Building a Personal Brand webinar. It is a super couple of hours. You do have to register. Registration is on the USA Transitions website, but we can share the link for that if you would like it. It's 2 hours that you can identify how to really utilize this platform for its original intent, its original purpose, to network, to market yourself, to find connections in roles that you're looking to move in, perhaps post-active duty or next, and really to help you get your next position. So definitely do put that on the calendar if you are interested. That is April the 18th at 11 a.m. As I am talking, 2 other resources that I wanted to share with you, and I think these are particularly apt right now based on some of the conversations that Amber and I have been having over the past couple of days. If you are making applications to roles right now, before you send your resume, please do stop and read a piece that we wrote. It is hosted on our website, highermilitary.us. It is called How to Target Your Resume, and essentially it will identify what your resume should look like when you make any application to a civilian potential employer. I want you to take a step back and really have a look at this, reread this, because I think that it will reposition for you the content that you need to have on your resume in order to make you a competitive and potentially successful applicant. So that's one piece. Another is if you don't have the chance or you don't have the opportunity or time to join Mike in his LinkedIn workshop, we do have a great piece written by our marketing team on our website. And it is all about creating an effective LinkedIn profile. As recruiters, when we take a look at your applications, when we read your resume, we love to see your LinkedIn URL. And we utilize that to go and find out more about you, to give us a background on who you are, as well as the information that you have provided on your resume. So definitely, if you have the time, do check that out. Hey, Jeffrey, it's lovely to see you from Fort Eisenhower. We've got Dion from Dallas. Who else have we got with us today? Craig from Bahrain. Gosh, we've got everybody here today. Before we get going and before we introduce our special guest today, Amber and I wanted to have a very quick conversation with you all in mind and with you as our audience to really highlight some of our observations of the week, recruiter observations of the week. So Amber, you kick off. Share with me what you were going to say.
Yes. So obviously, I work on the SkillBridge side, right? So I'm usually talking to transitioning service members, and they're trying to decide whether they're looking for a full-time position or whether they want a training program. I highly recommend before you start sending your resume out or you start having interviews, you really, really decide, do I want a full-time role at the end of my service, or am I just looking for a training opportunity for my skill bridge? And the reason I say that is because if we screen you, you tell us you're interested in a job, we're sending you to a hiring manager who has a full-time role for you on the end of the internship. So when you walk into the interview, if the first question they ask you is, what made you interested about this role? And your answer is, well, it's remote, that's a bad answer. So that's just one experience. So definitely do your research. Make sure you know what it is that you really want to do, because at the end of this, you're transitioning. You get to choose your path. And so, I mean, don't just take something just because it's remote or convenient. So
And so let's talk about that a little more, just so that everybody is aware. Why is that a bad answer? Why wouldn't we want to say it's remote? Why wouldn't I want this role?
So it being remote is just an added benefit. You have to think of it from the perspective of the hiring manager in the company. They're looking to bring you onto their team to be part of their company, to be part of their, their company culture. They want someone who wants to work for them. No one wants to hire someone who is just there because it's remote work and it's convenient. They want you to have a passion for whatever the role is, whether it's IT or it's project management, and I'm using the two most common ones, but that's essentially, I mean, you would look at it the same way. I think if you were hiring someone to join your team, you would definitely want them to have a passion for what the actual job industry is.
Yeah, 100%. And Dion says it just like we do. Remote is not a job. It absolutely, you don't ever do a job search and look for remote jobs. You actually have a job title, you have a function, you have an industry. But this really segues nicely into something else that we wanted to highlight today, which is about the level of content of your communication. So why don't you tell everybody what we were talking about earlier in terms of when us as recruiters ask you questions, they aren't trick questions, are they?
Yes. So speaking for us at Higher Military, right? Because I know there's other companies out there and I cannot speak for them. But if I do a screening with you and I'm really interested in sending your resume and sending you over for an interview, if I ask you if you're interviewing with other companies, it is not a trick question. It is solely because we are consultants not only to you as the transitioning service member or employment seeker, we are consultants to the company as well. So what we do is we just let them know, hey, this person is interviewing with other companies. They're highly sought after. So I always say this to everybody, and I know somebody said this the other day on LinkedIn, and I loved it. When you're interviewing, not only is the company interviewing you, but you're interviewing them. So for all transparency purposes, we just put all the cards on the table and say, hey, this person's fantastic, but keep in mind they are interviewing with other companies. And that's our cue to our client to say, if you're really interested, you might not want to sit on this interview for too long. So
It's exactly that. And also, one thing from our perspective, and we get this, and we don't get it all the time, but at least once every couple of weeks, a candidate drops out, they've taken another position. That is fantastic. Ultimately, within this SkillBridge internship world, we want you to be successful. Whether you take an internship through us or through somebody else, it's no bother to us. We just want you to have that opportunity to have a seamless transition from active duty. But it makes us look slightly foolish if we don't have that information. And that is the reason why we ask those questions. Not because we want to know exactly what you're doing and how successful you are. You don't need to keep your cards close to your chest. It would behoove you and it would make our relationship and partnership more successful if we have that information. Because just like Amber said, if we can tell our end client or our customer that you are interviewing elsewhere and they like the look of you, it means that they're actively most likely going to jump on you and move the process more quickly. So we just want to work with trust and integrity in mind. So that was what we wanted to bring to the table today. If you have any questions at all, we would love to be able to answer those. But before we join back together in about 5 or 10 minutes and talk about our newest internships and permanent positions, we have with us a future Skillbridge intern who will be starting through Higher Military in a few weeks' time. Her name is Mary Morrison. She is joining us today from Goldsboro, North Carolina. That's right, isn't it, Mary?
That is correct.
And yep, and she will be working with one of our existing customers, Veteran Service Brands, who we have been working with for quite a while now. So, Mary, I know I've given a brief intro on you, but why don't you take a second to tell us who you are?
Sure. As she said, I'm Mary Morrison. I started active duty Air Force back in 2004, so I'm rolling up on my retirement of 20 years active duty service. I've been to all over the world. I've been to different locations and different duty stations. Been maintenance by trade the whole time. I am still currently a maintenance production super here that I'm about to, exit out of. So, yeah.
And you are about to make a cross-country move from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base over to LA. So let's talk about that. Why don't you share with us how you initially went about finding internship opportunities that really worked for you and sung to your soul in terms of your next steps? What resources did you find most helpful in your search, and how did you do it, Mary?
So in order to prepare myself to be the most successful I could be, I actually started last summer. I would say back in June. I was currently working on my master's degree. And so I was looking at all different companies as, I was going through that degree, doing a lot of research, learning about their background, where they come from. And I got really excited for a lot of the companies as I did that research, but it's so far out, right? So I would keep those companies in mind. I would contact the recruiters at that time, so that way I can get in connection with them. And that's how I kind of got the ball rolling. I had a, resume. It wasn't perfected yet, but I had to give them something, and they do ask you questions, as it was mentioned by Amber and Lucy already. They're going to go off of your resume. So try to, have something to give them at that time. Pretty far out. You have time to, refine those. As soon as I hit the 12-month mark, I did my TAPS. And that was probably the key thing that I did, because I was able to really, really refine and dig into my resume and pinpoint exactly what I wanted to put in there and how I wanted to build it. And there's differences in your resume depending on which job you want to go into. So you have to make sure you build that resume off of that. If you go government, it's going to be a different style. If you go, civilian and you've been in for 20 years, it's going to be a different style. So make sure you go to TAPS and you learn all those ins and outs about the resume. Next, after that, once I kind of got that going and continued to refine that, I started really focusing on what did I want to do. I was already focusing that over the summer, doing my master's and things, but I had to really hone in on exactly what I was looking for. Because that's how if you need a certification for something, or you need more education, to cover those positions, because those positions are going to tell you exactly what they're looking for. And you want to cover all those blocks. If you don't cover as many blocks as you can, you might not fit the role. Now, it doesn't mean, if you don't cover all of them, doesn't mean you don't have a chance. But make sure you try to, if you're especially going for that one job that you really, really want. Also, don't limit yourself on that one position. There's many positions out there, many companies you might not know about. Continuously, stay on top of LinkedIn, on top of all the agencies. I was on, Facebook, Skillbridge Network, saw people posting on there. I saw, videos. I was in chat groups. I did everything I possibly could to learn as much that I could about everything, because the more you know, the better off you are. So that's how I started my journey, learning everything about it. And then I found Higher Military that way. I was able to listen into a couple of these sessions, learned a lot, and then I started seeing job opportunities through there. And then I reached out to Amber, and she wanted to interview me on New Year's Day, but quickly found out that, we might not want to be awake that early. So rescheduled it for the following day. She did request my resume, but of course, because I'd started so early, refining everything, really looked at that job opportunity. I really wanted it. So I, limited it down to that position. It was still really far out. So I was still in the learning phase of that position. I wasn't for sure that I was going to be taking it, because, it was 4 months wait. With that in mind, you don't know, so it's all interview. And she had my information. She was willing to give it to the manager, as she already said. As soon as they get that info and you're a super fit, they're gonna send you right up to the hiring manager. So that was spot on. Everything they're telling you is exactly what I experienced. And then as soon as I interviewed with the hiring manager, I thought about it over the weekend to make sure this is what I wanted to do, and this is it. And now I'm here, and I'm about to start in a couple of weeks, and I'm extremely excited.
And we are so excited for you as well, just because it really is an amazing match. But what I would love to know is what surprised you most about this internship search process? You told us what you did. You did exactly what I tell everybody to do. Find the roles that you're interested in, look at the job description, look at the certs, look at the experience, the qualifications needed, and work backwards to make sure you have enough time to get yourself position ready. But what surprised you? What did you not realize when you started doing this?
How much work that I had to put into it. I did submit into all kinds of different agencies, uploaded my resume into everything. I got nothing back. So, and they're not going to reach out to you unless you reach out to them, so there's nothing out there that is just going to be a click of the button and now you're done. Everything is going to be you investing as much time and effort into it. So if you really want that job, you're really going to have to get out there, and you're really going to have to, put as much effort and refining everything for it. And so that was probably the biggest thing. I did go through a couple of SkillBridge agencies and thought I would get something out of it, but it ended up, not really going that direction. So like I said, just make sure you cover everything, and then that way you have fallback plans. And so if something doesn't go your way, you have other opportunities already lined up, and don't give up. I mean, it's going to be hard all the way through, and you might get lucky like I got lucky, or, you might have to keep going at it, especially if you want to be a certain role that you don't want to sway from, then that might limit you. But like I said, don't give up, keep trying. It's going to come your way.
And so finally, what are your biggest takeaways from your search experience? And looking back, if you were to start again, or if you were to talk to somebody now who was about to start their journey, what would you do differently, or what advice would you share?
My advice would be to dig back into all of their previous roles that they did and look at their, like in Air Force, you have bullets. So look at your bullets, track all those. Because a lot of people that I talk to are in the younger, they're in the 4 to 6 years, trying to get out, and they don't really know what that means. But that information from your military career crosses over in so many other positions. So paying attention to what your supervisor is asking for, paying attention to what you're doing at work and how that might cross-relate over into those positions will get you that much further. And most of the people that I'm talking through at work and things, trying to help them, that's one area that they really, they needed to kind of work on. And, I help them navigate that. There's different agencies you can go through, like VetMet. Like I said, if you go, or VMet, if you go to TAPS, they're going to walk you through all of that. They're going to give you a lot of the resources that you need. The different areas you go to, you got your career one, they give you all kinds of websites and really set you up for success. So 12 months out, if you're ready to go, make sure you do that. And then that way you're set up for success. And I really wouldn't change a whole lot of what I did. I have to go off of what I've seen others, because I had a very successful outcome on my side. But from others, they were like, oh, I want to do SkillBridge, but I don't really know how to go about it. Do your research, ask, feel free to reach out to anybody who's been through it. You can reach out to me. I would be more than happy to help you, because I understand how frustrating or how, confusing the whole process is. So, use all the resources that you can, network as much as you can, and ask as many questions that you possibly can.
And on that note, Mary is joining Veteran Service Brands, which is a network of franchise opportunities across the US. She's starting this month. And if you are interested in hearing more about their opportunities, do let us know. HireMilitary.us. And we currently have one SkillBridge internship opportunity in Dover, Delaware, working with them. So if you'd like to hear more about that, please do let me know. Mary, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck. We hope it goes really well for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Amber, shall we get going? As we share the roles today that we have live and on our website, HireMilitary.us, if you are interested in anything specific that we mention, do just drop a comment. Let us know the job titles so that we can, after this live event, share the URL with you. So let's get going. On the direct hire side, what do I have? I have an awesome opportunity in Arlington, Virginia. This is an on-site role, working for a very small company that sits between the nexus of cybersecurity and national security between the public and private sector. They are looking for an executive assistant, but it is more like a support chief of staff, aide-de-camp type role. It is paying in excess of $120,000 per year. And really, they are looking for somebody who has been in a similar role on active duty themselves. So if this sounds of interest to you and it's piqued your interest and you'd like to hear more, just drop EA in the comments or send me a quick DM if it's after this event, and we can send you the link to read a little more. If missile defense and operational testing and evaluation is in your background and you are looking to relocate or you already live in Aurora, Colorado, we have a great niche role as an operations research analyst there right now. It's working for a small woman-owned brand. They are a GovCon and they are looking for ideal candidates that have top secret clearance and are SCI eligible. Need to have missile defense, Department of Defense, so either Air Force or Space Force operational test and evaluation experience, analysis and test reporting in operational environments. So if that sounds like it could be of interest to you and you have that kind of background, let me know and I can drop you the link to that. As always, we work with one of the big 4 consulting firms on the US Army Audit Readiness Program. And we have opportunities right now in the DC metro area for senior managers. So if you have been in one of the military branches, Army experience is ideal, but any of the branches in audit, finance, supply chain, logistics, any kind of accounting or finance career skill set, and you are looking to situate yourself in the DC metro area, post-active duty, these roles are hybrid, so 2 or 3 days in the office or 2 or 3 days at home, definitely connect with me because these are stellar opportunities and options for you. I can share more information, but if that sounds like it's of interest to you, just put senior manager role in the comments. And the last role that I have to share today, we are working with a new client. We do work with them on the SkillBridge side, but they have given us direct hire opportunities. So if you are in the aviation mechanic, or if you are aviation mechanic skill set career in field, or you are A&P licensed and you're looking to move to Oregon, if Oregon is the place of choice for you, either Madras or Hillsborough, we have roles there. So if they sound interesting, you think, yeah, I kind of would like to move there, let us know. We can share more detail. I'm going to hand over to you now, Amber, for our SkillBridge internship opportunities.
All right. So I'm going to share some SkillBridge opportunities. Before I do that, I just want to highlight a little bit more about the SkillBridge program in case there's anyone out there watching who is a little unsure about what SkillBridge is. So SkillBridge is a DoD approved or Army Career Skills program for eligible transitioning service members, typically in their last 180 days of service. So think of it this way. The DoD has come out with this program and said, we want to give transitioning service members an opportunity to go look at potential careers in their last 6 months of service before they get out in order to potentially help them secure a full-time position. So as I share these roles, keep in mind that these roles do have full intent to hire upon successful completion of the internship. So keep that in mind as we're going through them. And if any of these are interesting to you, I'll let you know, drop it in the comment. I'll get with you afterwards, send you the link to go apply. And so let's get started. The first one that I have is, like Lucy said, we do have aircraft mechanic and A&P mechanic roles on the full-time hire side, but we also have SkillBridge roles with one of our partners, and they're looking for aircraft mechanics in Alabama, so Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida, Everett, Washington, and Kansas City, Missouri. They are also looking for A&P licensed mechanics in San Antonio, Texas, and Oklahoma City. So if you have a background in aviation or you have an A&P license, definitely drop it in the chat, aircraft maintenance, A&P, and I will send you that link. The next 2 roles that I have, I'm really excited because they are brand new. So the first one is going to be an entry-level engineering technician IT software role. And this is in Dallas, Texas, with our partners at Texas Instruments. So they are looking for an entry-level IT tech to join their team for their August cohort. So this cohort starts August 26th. So you will be joining the team with, we have a few other interns starting at that time. So they are looking for someone who essentially has an associate's degree in electronics or related technical field, 2 years of hands-on electrical or mechanical equipment technician experience, fundamental knowledge of basic electronics, technical science, or applied electrical experience, or mathematics. So if this role sounds interesting, definitely drop a comment in the chat, Texas Instruments, IT software, and I will share that link with you. Additionally, we also have roles still available with Texas Instruments in Leahy, Utah, and that is for their October cohort. So they are still looking for equipment technicians or facility technicians at that location, and that's October 28th. And my final role is a solutions engineer role, and it is remote. So our partners at Splunk are looking for a solutions engineer to join their team. So this involves demonstrating Splunk technology, features, solutions, applications, as well as articulating Splunk technology and products to businesses and the tech users. So they are looking for someone with 3 to 5 years of experience in any of the tech industry, meeting or exceeding criteria in your previous roles. Definitely want to highlight anything you've done that stands out on your resume, as well as anybody who is passionate about tech client success. They definitely want you to apply. So if you are interested in that role, drop solutions engineer in the chat, and I would love to chat with you about it. And that's all I have, Lucy.
Thank you so much, Amber. We've got a couple more opportunities that we wanted to highlight. As with everything, it is all posted on our website, hiremilitary.us. So be a motivated job seeker, take a look, see if there's anything there for you. If there isn't, don't despair. We do update our roles regularly, and we are expecting some really choice ones in over the next couple of weeks. So if you want to be added to our distro list, or if you want to be in our database so that we can find you when we are searching for candidates that are available and looking, please do register your interest with us. You can do that either on the SkillBridge talent pipeline side or on the direct hire, the permanent job side. So what else do we have? If moving to the panhandle of Florida is in your future and you don't want anything with any stress, we are working with an awesome beach club there called Floribama. They have got positions in Orange Beach, Alabama, but also Perdido Key, Florida. So basically right there on the border, hospitality and operations manager type roles. So if those sound of interest to you and you just want an easy life this summer and you would like to be in the sunshine, talking to people, enjoying life, definitely take a look at our website and have a look at those. Working with another organization who specialize in sending people back downrange, Acuity International provides process and technology-based critical services to government and commercial enterprises around the world. Currently on our website, they have roles in both Iraq and Somalia, and they're looking for vets to fulfill various positions in security, intel analysis, and medical technology. So if a 1 to 2 year contract sounds like it's of interest to you, definitely check those out because they are really interesting. And finally, going back to the organization that we discussed today with Mary joining us, Veteran Service Brands. Like I said to you, they are a network of franchise brands across the US, and they have opportunities to start your own entrepreneurial venture. So they've got 4 different trades brands, and the level of talent that Mike Quinn and I met when we joined them in the national conference in January was just off the chain. I have not sat in a room where I have been so impressed by nearly 100 owner operators. And they have opportunities across the US to set up your own business. They walk you and talk you through every step of the way. The beauty of it is, because of the name, Veteran Service Brands, every owner operator is a veteran. So it's a home away from home. You are surrounded by like-minded people who just want you to be as successful as they are. So what are their brands? What do they do? Parking lot striping, G-Force. You know, you look at all these parking lots. Do we ever question how they got striped? That is one of their businesses. Another brand is Mark One, which is epoxy flooring. They've got athletic field striping, and they've got Paint Cool, which is a whole business built around residential and commercial painting. Now, up until today, they advertised across the US, but today they have opened up New York as a state of choice that they really want to develop. So if you are in upstate New York or anywhere else for that matter, and you want to find out more about these opportunities, please do connect with me or drop a comment or send me a DM, because I can speak in terms of my experience and also get you connected into them to have a proper conversation about what this could mean for you. So I would love to be able to share that, because I cannot rate this company more highly. Doesn't look like we have many questions today, Amber, but I'm really glad that we had that opportunity to have a chat at the beginning. I hope that if you heard that and you do have questions after this live event, you do throw a comment, because we will come back across the next couple of days and mind the comments and give you as many answers as we need. We would love to be able to share our experience and our advice with you. So it just leaves me to say thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you same time next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye-bye.